Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and this is going to be a review of the HyperX Pulsefire Haste 2, a slightly updated version of the Pulsefire Haste, which is all that HyperX has contributed to the mouse game for the past, is it 3 years now? So it's not the most shocking, not the most innovative, not necessarily passing the is it better than the GPX at the time of release in 2023 test. So yeah, it's the Pulsefire Haste 2. The main difference is that it has finally updated from a 3335 sensor to a 3395. Obviously a nice improvement, but I will get to the implementation later on in the video. It also does have Bluetooth compared to the old wireless model, which just had a standard 2.4 gigahertz connection. The weight comes in at 61 grams and it is balanced well, so there's really nothing to complain about, but it is worth noting that the wired version is 53 grams and does go up to 8,000 hertz pulling rate, while the wireless version is capped at 1K. I honestly thought with the custom dongle, not just a standard adapter, that they would have some type of better tech than just the standard 1K pulling rate, but they don't. And it's just like this mouse really does not have a lot unique going for it. It's kind of just in a place where if you didn't use the standard Pulsefire Haste wireless and don't already love that mouse, there's probably going to be a better option, or an option that has released that this really doesn't pass up, if that makes any sense. I did buy it at the time it was unreleased. I got it from fellow reviewer Upgrade Lemonade, shout out to him, but at the time of reviewing it, it is available on Amazon and HyperX's website. These little grips I have on it are called Spacer grips. It's a unique type of grip. I'm still deciding if they're stupid or not, but they do not come with the mouse. I will be reviewing them soon though. I know I'm really not describing this like it's the best thing since puffed wheat, but it's by no means a bad mouse. There are definitely still solid features of it, the main clicks being TTC golds. They just have a very sharp, pretty crisp feeling, really minimal to no quality issues whatsoever. Some of the firmest tensioning, no issues with like pre or post travel. Side buttons are extremely firm and crispy as well. They're not the lightest side buttons ever, so that is worth noting, but in terms of quality issues, there's really nothing. I mean, I guess if I press the top of mouse 4, it does go into the shell a bit, but really nothing that I could notice in use, and the build quality is an absolute fucking tank. So yeah, even though this is not technically the lightest mouse ever, it definitely does feel solid, and it's a high quality product for the $90 price point. And it kind of just fits right there in the market. Shape-wise, I don't prefer it compared to the X2, and performance-wise, I don't feel like it's as good as the Viper V2 Pro, so it just it falls there as an option. If you have had the Pulsefire Haste, the wired, the wireless version, and you enjoy it, and you're looking for a sensor upgrade, really no reason not to go for it. But if you are looking for something that's really like the next generation of mice, better than the GPX, it's probably not going to be this. And the GPX standard is just something I like because the mouse came out in 2020, and it just really shows like what companies are putting in effort and which are kind of just doing the bare minimum. And I think HyperX is the definition of a big company with the ability to do more, who has just been stuck on the bare minimum with mice. I mean, it's not really a problem. I'm sure they're investing in other products and doing just fine, but I've never had a HyperX mouse on my desk and been thoroughly impressed. The performance on this mouse is good, I will give it that. I have had a few sensor issues after doing the firmware update though. One of them, it seems to be what I hold left click at completely random times. I've not found a way to replicate it or like identify the cause, but it'll like slow down my sensitivity almost like there's a fucking sniper button, but I'm just holding left click. So it's something weird. It'll only last like a second or two max, but it's just a weird sensor issue that I don't have on any of my other 3395 mice, so I don't really know what that could come down to. And that is a minor issue. It's not something that massively affected my experience with the mouse, but I did see some people on Reddit saying that they were having some sensor issues as well. So just be wary, especially after the firmware update. The sensor implementation might be a bit buggy, but for the most part, it was completely fine. And when it was working properly, it was a solid 3395 implementation. I'm not going to try to like schizo out and differentiate between this CX implementation and the one on like the X2. But yeah, it was a solid sensor, the weight at 61 grams. It's just like all around, it's a solid mouse. If this released in say 2021, it would have been one of the best mice on the market, but at this point it's just like it seems like an above average option at a pretty solid price point for the features you're getting. But I just don't think anybody, especially somebody who's used the Haste in the past, is going to be wowed by this mouse. You're just going to be like, okay, this is a improvement. I actually lost the dongle to my old Pulsefire Haste wireless, so I was not able to compare the sensors one-to-one, but I would imagine you can notice an improvement with the 3395's tracking engine, motion sync, blah blah. But honestly, yeah, this was not a mouse that is going to be staying on my desk. I kind of want to check out the wired version, see how their 8K polling implementation is, see if they have a really good cable on the mouse, and just test out the same shell with a lighter weight. Because yeah, this mouse did not really do it for me, but maybe some of you guys watching the video are interested, so I will leave a link in the description. If you have any more questions about the mouse, let me know. Things like the scroll wheel, DPI button, stock skates, those are the same as before, so I just didn't bother going over them. But yeah, that's going to be all. Like and sub if you enjoyed, and peace.